No, this is bad. This is bad. There's a big cloud that's heading right for the sun. It's... Come on.
All right, I'll admit that a cloud covering the sun isn't normally that big a deal, unless, say, you're standing on a beach in Ghana, Africa, and you've traveled many, many hours and thousands of miles just to watch a 3-minute total solar eclipse. Then, suddenly, a cloud is a very big deal.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, you tell him, buddy. I'm sorry, I should probably back up a little bit to where this all started.
Where it all started is here in New York City. My name's Mike Rubens and I'm a filmmaker, and I've always wanted to see a total solar eclipse.
Why? I'm not sure, but people talk about it in almost mystical terms, the moment when the moon's shadow covers the sun and the sun disappears from the sky.
Now, the thing with a total solar eclipse is that they don't come to you. You gotta go to them.
See, you've got to be in the so-called line of totality, a very narrow path where the moon's shadow completely blocks the sun's light.
If you're not directly under that line, at best you're seeing a partial eclipse. And a partial eclipse, it just doesn't count. It's sort of like almost making a basket. Crap.
The thing is, if even the tiniest sliver of sun peeks through, it's blindingly bright.
And I mean literally blinding, as in fry your retinas out blinding. It's total eclipse or nothing. Hello?
And then one day I get this call from the Travel Channel.
Hi.
They ask if I want to go cover the March 29th eclipse in Ghana.
Ghana? This isn't actually the phone call, but it was very similar to this.
Ghana? I'd never been there, but I'd heard it was beautiful and peaceful, with pristine beaches, emerald rainforests, and some of the friendliest people in the world. How could I say no? So suddenly, I was on a plane, and before I knew it, I was stepping out of the airport into the warm tropical night of Accra, the capital of Ghana. Then it was a quick, and what we'll just call an exhilarating ride to the hotel. Should we really be in this lane? This is very exciting. And then, there I was, at my rustic seaside hotel.
Remember, this is Africa, so with accommodations, you gotta rough it, you know, you gotta be tough. Oh.
The next morning, after about an hour's sleep, I got my first real glimpse of Accra. It hits you with a friendly wallop. There's activity everywhere.
Very intense.
While I hadn't yet spotted any other eclipse chasers, I did start to see evidence that Ghana was preparing for the eclipse, which was just 3 days away.
In 2001 in Nigeria, there was an eclipse and there were riots, so the government has been very active trying to get the word out that there's going to be an eclipse, there's nothing to worry about, and to wear these glasses. And everywhere you look, you see these people selling these glasses on the street.
There's about 1 million people in Accra, and most of them seem to be at the sprawling Makolo market. Deep inside, I found a woman who'd been doing a brisk business selling eclipse glasses.
Did you sell a lot of these? A lot.
How much is a lot? She claimed she sold 3,000 pairs that day alone. This was not Ghana's first experience with a total eclipse. There was one back in 1947. But the population in Ghana is very young, and most people weren't alive back then. This woman was, though, and she saw the eclipse when she was 14.
What did people say? What were people...
The world was changing. What is happening? It was a surprise.
But despite the history and the hype, not everyone was convinced.
I'm not sure it's going to happen because I don't believe it. I don't believe in it.
You don't think it's going to happen at all?
Yeah.
Why not?
I think maybe people are trying to just make money out of it.
I suppose I could have made a little money with a friendly wager, but then again, maybe she was right. By the way, it's not unusual to find English speakers here. It is, after all, the official language. About 40% of the population is Christian, and the Ghanaians' devotion is reflected in the names of their stores. Finger of God Catering Services, the Holy Beauty Salon, the Lord's Restaurant. He loves that place. And another hair place called Watch and Pray. Not the best name to inspire confidence in your customers. on the more secular side, there was the hilarious services company. Again, not really inspiring a lot of confidence. Well, man doesn't live by eclipse chasing alone, and while in Accra, I wanted to see the sights. One was a famous local craftsman whose workshop was on the outskirts of the city. On the second story of the simple building was his showroom, filled with his brightly colored wooden sculptures.
These may seem like something that you'd see on an amusement park ride, but this is for the last ride of your life. These are all coffins.
That's right. Here you can go in style in a Mercedes, get planted in a radish, or be launched into the afterlife in a howitzer. There's even a cell phone coffin.
So when your number's up, yeah.
The coffins are all constructed in the downstairs workshop. Overseeing the whole operation is Pa Joe. He's been making these coffins for 30 years. He's also the third generation in his family to carry on the tradition.
This is, if you love to drink, here you go. You can be buried forever in a giant beer bottle.
Actually, Pa Joe explained that the coffins usually reflect their owner's profession. For example, a driver would be buried in a truck and a baker in a sack of flour.
Do people come in and say, you know, I don't know when I'm going to die, but I want you to make me a coffin?
Oh yes, some people will make it to see physically before we did.
Well, I had a lot of Ghana to see and not much time to see it. So I made my farewells and got on my way.
I couldn't resist. I bought a souvenir. This way I think I'll also have to buy a hamster or something so that when it dies I can pop it right in there, put it in the ground.
Coming up next, fire, fish, fun, 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 and some humiliation. As Eclipse Chasers Ghana continues.